I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. If anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come out.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good. Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the out, man. It's fine, it's just a 5-starter.
Kommt Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die. 15 seconds, don't die.
Guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go to Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, is there. Acceleration. So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pocken.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on OP barrel. Wire our strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Hit the Griffin.
Woo! Sorry about that. That was such a...
That's all right. I'm gonna spawn Lance you guys in Charlie, Lance you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Holt in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Kurzausschaltung Delta 4-3, Stärke 2 Medium sein, Leitwüste, die ich gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, 2 durchlaufen, 10, Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie and Hellburn on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're gonna spread out.
Check yourselves, make sure you've got, UAV full shot.
Here they come, they're pushing hard, guys.
Eco. Test on tail.
Go.
Oh, gotta cut here, Bravo 3. Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
We'll get cross and then get in their face. They got a highlighter, they just push up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta. Yeah, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys, full pressure. They're down low.
They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jax.
Jackson, cool shot.
Go. I got him.
Okay, go. B3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over our medium, guys. Get Echo Stormpro. God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
Hello everyone and welcome to, let me mute that. Welcome to the first drop of the Invitational seeding round. This is going to be Fidelis Machina versus Mantra. Let's see, we got Mokor in there. All right, we are about ready to go. Why are my sides backwards? Well, it doesn't really matter at the moment, but we'll get there. Howdy everybody. Sorry, I am jumping in last minute. I thought we had this sorted out. It is lucky that I am not out of town today, so I'm jumping in. So please bear with the rough edges. Just found out about 5 minutes ago that I'm doing this. All right, let's get going with the ban. So to start out, this is a best of 7. And we are going to play all map, so hang tight. This one's going to take a bit. So the way that our ban process is going to work is team 1 is going to choose the first map. Team 2 is going to choose map 2. Let's see what now Morcor and crew just getting in. They're getting their players in, so we'll give them a second to sort this out. We'll see what we end up with. As I continue to get everything set up. Okay. In any case, our first map is going to be Bear Claw. Okay, HPG is going to be second. Hang on. Don't know why this is. There we go. And then Bug. So that is 1, 2, 3, team 2, next map. And then whatever's left will be our last one. Era, right? Which means Frozen City will be last. Okay. Next up, team B will choose to. Come on. All right, so Mantra is going to choose which side they want to be on Bear Claw. And where we start this. In the meantime, I will continue setting up the lobby. Which actually I need to check where the service. I'm not sure where that one sits. Team 1. There we go. So we start there. Okay. Fidelis. So for those of you just joining, wondering what this match is for, last week, there was the knockout round, which chose 3 teams to be pulled out of queue and directly into the top 12. So that is essentially going to be our seeds 1, 2, and 3, but not necessarily in an order determined by the matches last week. This is a round robin tournament. The loser of this, oh, hang on, let me get this updated here. All right, so the loser of this will go on to face Fjord next week, and then the winner will face Fjord the week after that. And I did say this is a best of 7, and you'll notice that we have only chosen 5 maps. What will happen is after drop 5 is played, should we be moving on, we will do another map ban. For the rest. All right, team 1. So we are swapping sides again. And then at the end of this, team A, which is Fidelis, chooses again. Team 2 on Terra, which will maintain the sides. as they discuss for Frozen, presumably. A reminder that there is a 5-minute delay here. Oh, I am not in Discord technically, so I should do that so you guys can get my icon. There we go. That'll should pop up here. All right, and team 1 on Frozen. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get set up. We are here on Bear Claw. We are on the North American server. I'm going to go ahead and swap the sides now to prepare for our first match. Let me see here, get my timer up. All right, and we are gonna start our timers. Now, as these teams get ready, go ahead and take a quick look at Bear Claw. Here is the beautiful map. And what I think we're going to see, what we've seen so far, actually, from some of these teams is we see some fight around Theta and a little bit of skirmish around Epsi, maybe a little over Kappa if we look. But again, it mostly boils down to this area, this little quadrangle here, E6, F7 here. We've got some long range shots. There's going to be some denial of Epsilon, maybe a little light skirmish back and forth here. But honestly, I predict that the fight is going to pull back inside. We might get a little Kappa skirmish. There's a lot of cover over on this side of the map here. And it is so far out of the way if you are fighting over Epsilon. There's no hope there, so expect teams to pick a side. Maybe someone takes Kappa. The points will sort of accrue at that point if someone takes Kappa and provides some pressure. I don't think I've ever seen Bear Claw come to caps yet. Doesn't mean it won't, but there's enough of a focus towards the center, straying towards the Epsi side of this map, that I think we're going to see some great engagement happening around. These pillars over here also very important in terms of the movement that we see. It does split up. There is no direct charge route, so teams have to pick a side here. So if they split, probably their fast movers are going to move around this Kappa side to try to get around. That we've seen some beautiful lines in the knockout round, and we've seen those beautiful lines crumble to a light flank. Now we've got Fidelis with a lovely wolf pack. You're going to see some good macro movements with these teams. This is what we're here for. This is the top level play. If you are hopping in queue, please steal these folks' strats. Do what you need to do. They are they are where you're gonna see a lot of stuff happening here. All right, gonna go ahead and restart the timer. 5 minutes for team 2 to get themselves sorted out. Make sure that my scoreboard is on the right side here. Yep. Okay. And so yeah, use these strats. Now you might get foiled by some teams that don't do what is predicted, but that is where you need to stay flexible, right? It is all about that flexibility and staying mobile, keeping your head about you and your situational awareness, using all your maps. Last year I talked a lot about scouting, and I'll say it again here for anyone who might be watching that is not already part of the comp community. Do scouting. Scouting, get eyes. Don't just rely on your sensors, and also think about what you're not seeing and where you are looking. If you would expect mechs to be there and they're not, what does that mean? Where else could they be, and what does that mean? And also UAVs. We saw that last week. We had, I don't remember which team it was. I think it was 5J versus Fjord. We saw a distinct difference in the amount of UAVs that were being used, even in a brawl. Like one team had 6 in the air, the other had none. So keep an eye out for UAVs, shoot them down, but don't get distracted from the actual fight in order to do so. But throw them up, because information is ammunition, and this is a game based on a BattleTech property. So use that information. We are just waiting on the teams. Actually, we're specifically waiting on Fidelis here to sort it out. Looks like they're going Alpha Bravo Charlie. Looking at this map, and actually here, I'll scoot back to lobby real quick so you can see what our lance distributions are, because that does matter a little bit. So here we have Monster here, mostly Alpha Bravo with 1 on Charlie. Scooting back to the map to take a look at what that means. They are on team 1 side. Alpha Bravo means they're probably going to stray towards the Epsilon side. 1 person in Charlie might go to Kappa. And then, well, we're going to go ahead and launch and see what Fidelis is going to do. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So here's what I was talking about. If you're not terribly familiar with the overview, this is the Kappa side of the map. You can see all this cover. Last week we did see someone just kind of hanging out. I think it was behind this rock, maybe this one up by the point, just doing a little scouting to see if a mech is there. And then they went to the main fight, and then 2 mechs came in and took the point. We'll just fly over the top here, and here's our Epsilon point. Lots of open ground. Okay, let's take a look at... Hang on, why do I not have... There we go. So taking a look at the Fidelis side, we've got JP Django in the Blackjack 1X. Interesting. Usually we will see an arrow. Running a binary and a bunch of meads. We've got a 7S with ERPPCs, Locust 3Vs. That's going to have some mediums. This Charger 1A1 with a mix of large pulse and small Stone Rhino 2 with some hags. The Stalker with sort of a mid-range-ish laser bomb. We've got a Mishy Peshu still with that, even with the armor nerfs of Tuesday. And we've got a sort of a brawl hellfire here. Moving over onto the Mantra side, we're looking at an Ice Ferret, an Incubus Saber. We Firestarter with the light PPCs, and a Black Lantern probably with all the laser suite. And let's go to the heavier side here. We've got ourselves a Dervish with some smalls and lasers, binary and smalls for the Charger. Xe with large pulse variant, and again with the laser fist there, and the longbow overcharge with a whole bunch of lasers. So here we see Fidelis taking the center. They have taken Gamma and Theta. We have one mech looking at Epsi. Mantra, on the other hand, strong force to Kappa. Looks like they were expecting a fight there. Their larges are holding back at their point, so we have not a whole lot of scouting on the point of Mantra. They've ceded a significant part of the map and will give the cap advantage to Fidelis. Now, Fidelis, look, they haven't taken Epsilon yet, and they haven't actually made moves. They are looking to jump that mech that goes to Epsilon, and Mantra said, no, we're not going to do that. And here comes Mantra. They are moving in. I don't think... Let's take a look at where folks are looking. They are looking everywhere they can. They don't really know where... Fidelis doesn't really know where Mantra is at this moment. They are keeping their eyes out. There may have been a spot. No. They are looking every which direction. They are using their eyes. We don't have really any UAVs. We have one trap set up for Epsilon. Mantra still moving in. They are split, though. This could be a problem. Let's see here. Winter's Rager, Deuce, and friends are pushing up this ramp. The other side is pausing for the cause. Looks like they're going to try to jump these three that are over by Theta, or not. Or not. They are going to maybe link up and do a murder ball. I'm not really sure what's going on here. This is definitely atypical strats here from Mantra. The timer is ticking away as they make these moves. We've got to play for Gamma here. They are going to swipe it away, but they will lose Sigma relatively shortly. Now, they did full cap Sigma. They will have some time to recognize that and recognize that there's a mech out. But ultimately, Mantra is spread all across the map right now, as Fidelis is just kind of hanging out, trying to protect the caps, staying mobile. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Who's hanging out by Theta? We've got the Red Goes to Fast in the Firestarter. Hanging out by Theta and is spotted. We've got the first shots here exchanged. The Red gets a little clipped. Not a whole lot, just a little on the legs and torso. So we are, yeah, okay. So Red's going to try to tuck in. There isn't really a safe point. Maybe this corner over here would be safe for them, but all right, here we go. We've got multiple mechs in, just trying to turn that Theta point, change that cap lead around, and then it will turn over into a fight on Theta. All right, I have to go on a quick detour. I know there's action there. All right, it is Dario in the Locust. Looks like is going to be taking on the Kappa row. So if Mantra decides to make this an actual fight, it will be 7-6 for a little while here. JBV taking a little bit of hits on that Incubus. I don't think there's really been any. I guess Tawars has taken a little bit of hit in the Mishipeshu. You know, I never actually looked at that. That is Mishipeshu. Yes, that is correct. And getting some shots in there. I think ultimately giving better than getting is still really early. I don't want to necessarily call an armor advantage here yet, but there is definitely a tonnage advantage with Fidelis being down 1. Dario flipping Kappa over. That will make this a 3 cap to 1 cap. You see, Theta has been neutralized, but not actually capped. That is a little worse. Gwentler in the Black Lantern just taking so many hits, trying to do JBV, sacrificing some armor to try to get that point, and ultimately abandoning it. I think they're going to try to jump Dario here in the Locust. Let's go take a look. Fidelis moving in to close that gap. Dario should get away. Even with this screen is facing in the wrong direction. That what's that, echelon right or some other nonsense if you are playing a game that has formations like Mech 2. Yep, here we go. Fidelis recaptures Theta. It is now a 4-1. Now here I said it wouldn't come down to caps, or I'd never seen it come down to caps. This is the time. This is the time. All right, looks like they have caught up to Dario. Dario tucked in a corner.
Command confirming that
And they don't see him. The UAV is there. They haven't taken around. Oh, hang on. Here goes Gwentler. They're going to take a look. Gonna take a look. Here we go. Dario versus JBV and Gwentler. This is going to be tough. Gwendler's looking a little roughed up by that coloration. It's largely internal damage. Was cooking himself. Dario gonna maybe get away. That Incubus is right on his tail though, using that flamer to keep him down. Tucking in with a pause. Oh, there is the leg on Dario. Dario goes down. It is officially a 6v7, and Fidelis's capper is out of the equation. However, they do have two mechs over here sitting on Gamma. And it looks like Fidelis is, or I'm sorry, Mantra is going to go investigate that 2v2 Phoenix Hawks versus Shadowcat, and Shadowcat versus Lantern and Incubus. I think I give that to the Shadowcat pair. They're going to pull off having neutralized it, leaving a 2-1 cap. We've got a bunch of mechs on Sigma. This is a cap game all around. Fidelis's bigs just kind of hanging on by Theta here, not really doing a whole heck of a much, but that should be able to change. Mokor in the Ice Ferret and Dered coming in on Theta. There's the flashing lights that say, hey, here we are. And Fidelis took a second, and they are going to, here we go. Bigs are going to be able to get in on Kappa. It is currently a 3-2 cap in favor of Mantra. However, that cap lead is over 100 in favor of Fidelis here. So they have time to sort this out. They are going to hold on to Theta, reinforce it a little bit. Theta was a trap, and Mokor is taking some hits. Here comes Winter's Rigor, and the Sigma capping team are coming into the center to have the fight. And here is our fight. It is going to be close on caps. So both teams going to have to pay attention to that. And it looks like Mantra, since they had the one mech advantage anyway, is going to send someone over to Epsi to close that gap a little bit, but it is getting very close, even with two caps. We've got Gwentler here at 68%. Let's take a look at where that is. Again, a lot of internal, but with that open shoulder, that will really hamper his ability to fight. Winter's Rigor also going down to 65% here. JBV, ooh, Winter's Rigor, one touch. JBV goes down in the Incubus. I don't even see him. Where was he on the field? Winter's Rigor, there's that CT. Fidelis coming ahead here. Navid goes down. We are just trading. There goes Monk. We are trading kills. Mokor here at 51% seems to be a bit of the focus, but old Hasu goes down first. It is just a whole bunch of brawl going on here. Mantra still with the one mech advantage, but keep in mind that one is out and they are all looking beat up. Brower goes down. It is now a 4v3 fight here. Mokor Gwentler looking rough. Django goes down to the CT shots. Now we're up to Lermgod and the Stone Reiner, who's been hanging out here getting lots of shots legged, and here it is. Mantra is out. Tawar's trying to stem the bleed. Tawar's, this is a difficult cap game for him. There's a lot of distance here. Does have the mask right in that Shadowcat, one leg open, but let's see here. Who are we sending? We are sending Gwentler in this Black Lantern, both shoulders open here, so Tawar's could take that bit of capper off the field. We've also got the Firestart here, Dered, very fresh. Tawar's could take him if he got there first. Looks like Mokor is legged in the Ice Ferret. Not a whole lot of help there, basically covering Theta and Audu. So Tawar's in a relatively fresh Shadowcat, I think has a lot of potential here to maintain the cap, but it is 5-0, and actually it is over in the next couple seconds. Mantra gonna take the win off of Fidelis for drop 1. On caps, I was so wrong. So wrong. All right. Let's take a look at the damage here. All right. We're looking at Tremzelis's at 582, well above a lot of the other Mantra folks. Again, this is a cap game. Look at these damage. Dered out in the caps, only getting 7 damage, but a full minute and 3 seconds of cap time. Dario in that Locust with a minute and a half, also down in those double digits, those lows. So you're not going to see such high damage. That Stone Rhino Lermgod left to his own devices for a while in that final fight. Comes in at 549. Otherwise, fairly well-rounded damage. If slightly atypical from what we see. All right, I am going to head on over to, you can take a look at some of the deeper stats here there. while I get the next set up here. And as a reminder, our next up map will be HPG. All right, gonna go ahead and begin that timer here as we move on to HPG. And we'll take a quick look at HPG here while the teams get set up. Here we go. All right, so we have up in the north side, this will be Fidelis, and down on the south side will be Mantra. Largely symmetrical, some differences. We're going to see some folks on the wall. It's really going to come down to the center fight. Now, we have seen some basement fights. I don't expect it from these teams. Honestly, I'm a little thrown by that first drop from Mantra. Very unorthodox strats, but they worked out very well. So well played on Mantra. I honestly, if their thinking is relatively out of the meta and out of the typical, I don't know what they're going to do. I would expect, I mean, you got to have folks on the wall. You have to have those eyes on the map. So we'll see some wall-to-wall trading probably. We might see a little brawl in the basement. I don't expect it. Maybe a little skirmish, but you never know. The teams may decide. And Mantra pulling unorthodox strats may opt for a basement strat, which is risky because then Fidelis would take the outside caps. Really interesting strats here. And quite frankly, I am thrown for a loop. Let's take a look at the chat while we're here. We'll head back into the lobby. Looks like we had an ad here, unfortunately. Sorry, couldn't catch that. Eyes are elsewhere. We need some more mods in the chat here. But in any case, we've got some salt in the chat. Always fun. And apparently commandos need more health quirks and are too squishy. Interesting. Oh, I can run predictions here. I'm not gonna add. Sorry guys, no predictions today. We got a lot going on here. Okay, team 1 Fidelis is locked. We're gonna get timer for team 2 started here. They are sitting in Bravo, Charlie, and Alpha Lances. We'll go ahead and take a look at the map here. They are mostly in Bravo, couple in Charlie, couple in Alpha. So it looks like we're probably gonna have maybe one on the top going to Charlie 5. One heading to Epsilon, obviously cover that cap, and the rest are going to stray towards the E6, do a little bit of counter rotation there. Alternatively, they could all just be going up the center. It's hard to tell, but when you're weighted that way, we'll see how it works out. Let's take a look at where Mantra is sitting. Mantra is sitting mostly in Alpha. Bravo at this point. That is much more centrally located for their team. Charlie definitely out having better ramp access. One person in Charlie. Probably just going to go to get the Sigma point, honestly. And we're a couple folks short, so we'll see how it goes. Someone in the chat, if you could tell me what the 7s are about. I'm a little confused and or out of the loop on that one. We are still waiting on one player to enter from Mantra. Oh, there we go. Coming up on 3 minutes for Mantra to lock in. Plenty of time. We're coming up on 2 minutes for Team 2 to lock. This will be our second drop on HPG. If you're just joining us, it is Mantra with 1 win. Fidelis with, oh, there we go. All right, sweet. We will launch on to the next. Oh, hang on. The scoreboard is not updating. Give me 1 moment, folks. There we go. That should get it.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Tios, thank you for hopping in.
Yeah, sure. I saw that, or I heard the comment of I didn't know I was doing this until 5 minutes ago, and I was like, oh no, does he need help?
Yeah, no, I would love another voice here. I think I am largely situated in terms of the mechanics, but I would love another voice in here as I run out of things to say sometimes. Right now, I'm gonna run down the mech list here since I've got them up while we're rating on HPG. I'll get you in on the next one. Actually, I will stream to Discord as well, and hopefully that will suffice for a moment.
Okay, sounds good. Yep.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the resource points. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
There we go. Okay, coming in with Fidelis here. We've got again a Warthog despite those nerfs. Seeing some repeats here. We've got a Phoenix Hawk with snubs. We've got a Marauder 2C Supernova with ATR large. Again, Longbow 7V. Interesting. Not the hero. We're rocking a Miss Lynx and a Vulcan 5T. Since when? With 5 medium X pulse lasers. I haven't seen that in a hot minute. All right, over on the other side.
It was 2017 again.
Right. All right, so here we've got a Yenlo Wang here with a snub and an AC-20 Victor with
a Dragon Slayer.
Yeah,
wow.
2 heavy peeps and a Gauss rifle, night gear with a whole bunch of stuff here. AP Gauss, Proto ACs, plasma cannons, and an AC-10. A 7S sitting here on Scout with our heavy PPC, light PPC build, Stone Rhino, again, large and Gauss. And what is going on? Old Hatsu over here practically off the map, and a Rifleman 3C with 2 Gauss. Even with the Gauss, that is extreme range. So he's just going to be
say what you will about Mantra, but they have some of the most unique mech picks I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
I am loving it.
And also their strat on the last drop had my head blown, and I think it messed with Fidelis as well enough to end it on caps. And here they go into the basement. We won't go in there just yet. I'm going to hang out here with Fidelis and see what they do. We have 1 mech on the wall, 1 mech kind of in the center, everyone else in the basement for Mantra, which gives, oh, we're going in. Oh, we're going in. Here we go.
It's going to be a full-out brawl, which is interesting because neither team really has a brawl-centric deck, except for maybe the Adder and the Yenlo Wang. But beyond that, most teams are built for mid-range, so they're kind of both out of their comfort zones here. But I guess that sort of balances each other out.
Yeah.
However, JBV is alone down low, and he needs to get out of dodge.
Oh yeah. Well, not quite alone, but it's not good. Ooh, 89%.
Oh, but his team is coming to support him instead. No, they
Yeah, a little bit of
decided they don't
cover.
want that smoke.
Yeah,
they don't want that smoke after seeing all that.
A little bit of cover, give choice for targets, maybe honestly helped JBV get out. But here we have Mantra abandoning the basement, and they are down 3 caps to 2. Gamma, just the sliverest of sliver caps. Should Fidelis decide to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And
once Fidelis has the 3 cap, I think their plan is relatively assured, seeing as if you look at their mechs, it is very much trade with a few brawl stoppers in, you know, the Adder, the Vulcan, and beyond that. But it's going to be a little hard.
Well, maybe, because here's the
Mantra
ebb and
to
flow.
push.
Mantra's coming back into Theta, which again is the slivery of sliver caps.
Which
So
I'm
that's
worried
going to
because
change
they
real
have
fast.
2 mechs. Because they have 2 mechs on the back of the map that just won't be able to do anything if they push.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they don't need to push. They got Theta. Never mind.
Yeah.
I feel bad for these sniping mechs on the back of the map just because when everybody's down low,
There's
you don't have
nothing they
shots
can
at
do.
all.
Yep. And 2 Gauss rifles is not going to go to the basement. That's just that is a recipe for disaster. And here comes Fidelis pushing back.
Oh yeah. Lermgod is at 83%. He is showing yellow though. However, we have 2 mechs in the red. Gwendler seems
Gwendler, yep. With they're
JBV
finding their
and the
focus here. I'm
Centurion.
struggling to find the angle here among all the cover. And yeah, here we go. Mantra pulling out, which is good for them, sequestering Fidelis in the basement, and Fidelis is not going to push out, which is the smart move. I'm going to take a look at some of the Mantra mechs here. We've got JBV, who is cored, some pretty heavy armor damage along the rest. Mokor almost legged. They did not get out of there cleanly. That was very much a disadvantage there. Let's take a look at Lermgod.
And I mean, Mantra was just kind of set to lose that fight from the start, because if you look, Fidelis had 1 mech on the wall at the time of that fight. Meanwhile, Mantra had 2 mechs on the wall at that time of the fight, which means that it's just a 6v7 from the start. And I don't think there's any way you can properly succumb in even fights that becomes a 6v7.
Yeah. Now here we got Mokor being an absolute pest in the Shadowcat. Oh, interesting. I did not expect large lasers on that. And
large lasers and MGs,
that.
yeah, it's an interesting pick.
And
pretty much the
suit him
moment
well.
AP Goss came out, the Shadowcat has been revolutionized yet again.
Oh, yeah, right, absolutely. And even with the nerfs, we're still seeing it.
Oh yeah.
So
Monkeyatso's in the red in a supernova. Is he struggling against that Rifleman and Dragon Slayer?
Well,
Deus is in
I'm
the
on
red
the wrong
too,
side. Yeah, there's a whole lot of hurt going on here. Let's take a look since I was closer. Old Hasu's open to a headshot, so never mind that yellow. And yeah, shoulders open.
I'm betting Duret is XL. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monkeyatso.
Let's take a look
Moko's
here.
going for back cap.
Open shoulder, otherwise okay.
Yeah. Moko's going for a back cap though, but I mean, even then, it's still a 3 cap in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I don't know who that is for Fidelis in the back, but somebody's about to get Sigma, and
let's go take a look.
I would say, while last match was a toss-up, I think this is just going to be a Fidelis win. I think they have too much map control at the moment, and I don't see a way Mantra can come back from this.
And with the caps, because it's about to be a 4-1. And they are almost 100 points ahead as is. It is pretty dominant on the cap ticks, even with the slowdown in the action here. Lermgod finally down to red. Again, just open
Fidelis is just taking the time old strat of once you have a cap lead, just slow trade and trade your health for cap points.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see a way Mantra can get out of this. I think
and we're moving over here. Django moving over here to solidify Epsi, maybe cut off the Gamma Kappa coming back to the fight.
It's something I'm not really a fan of on HBG. I'm not sure how you feel about it or how others feel about it, but I feel like the moment a full swing basement fight comes out, I feel like the match is just decided from there. You can try to claw it back, you can try to keep playing it out, but the moment both teams commit to a basement, I feel like that just determines the outcome. Naveed coming in with that cheeky back kill on Aldeus.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Naveed getting one on JB. Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's just starting to roll at this point. Oh, Hasu is ready to go. Naveed gonna beam lasers on the end. Oh.
So wow, that is, I actually really like that adder build. He got a few weapons crit out, but that's looking like 2 beams and 8 LMGs, I think, or 7 LMGs.
Potentially, yeah. Hard to tell there.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll catch it on another drop.
Say what you will about the adder, but I mean, the AP Goss build got nerfed, but I mean, Naveed doesn't have the set of 8, which means that it performs the same now as that build would have in the past. And oh boy, Winter's Rigor. Wonder if he'll be able to get a pick before it's over, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's not going to matter too much because it's over in 2 seconds here. So
I do really like that Jir build. It's not very often you see somebody utilize packs, but it is a very interesting build to see.
Especially with the mix there, you've got the AP Goss in there, the AC-10. It is a whole lot of stuff. Be interesting to see what the numbers look like on that.
Yeah, well, the Jir is a historically very slot restricted mech, so maybe that's where the packs come in. Oh my goodness, Lerm got 811.
Good lord. Yep, Tawars. Yeah, a lot of these mechs held down to doubles here. Gwentler and the Phoenix Hawk.
Yeah.
And the Mistlinks, that's rough.
Naveed getting a minute of cap time in an adder, one of the slowest lights in the game. Champion move.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, just looking at how low their damage is, you really see how hardly Mantra got dominated in their attempt to fight in the basement.
Yep. And to answer
I'm
your
not
question,
sure what their plan was, but
I agree with you overall. Like, either the fight happens in the basement and it's super clear, or one team comes out absolutely busted, which changes the I guess it would be the tenor of the match there. Let me see if I can get the right. There we go. Yep, that's the right scores up there. All right, let me get you in here.
Yeah, sure. I may have to send you a friend invite. I may have. Oh wait, no, you're still on my list. I may have done the comp queue thing and figured a lot of people.
I get it.
Let's see.
There you are. All right. So next up, we are looking at Viridian Bog and a side swap. So 1 second, folks.
So I'm not entirely familiar, or I just read up on the Invitationals format because obviously, because my team KDCM isn't playing, I didn't read up entirely into it. So now I'm bringing myself up to speed. I do love the fact that we're playing the full 7 games.
Yes.
There are so many times where you pull up a comp queue stream and then, like, you know, things are dominated, things are empty, and then, you know, best of 5, you only play 3, stream ends after 30 minutes, and you're like, wow, is that it? Okay, sorry, but, you know, the fact that we're playing the full 7 means that we're going to see everything that teams have to bring to bear. And, you know, it's going to be interesting for the maps we play more than once. Are they going to swap up their strats? Are they going to try to do the same thing? I don't know about you, but these are 2 highly renowned teams, which means that if you bring a strat and you dominate in you know, game 1 of that map, are you worried about them making a counter strat for round 2? Are you going to have two different game plans? I would hope that they do, but
yeah, I'm not sure we've really seen anything that would be hard counterable per se. And both these teams are very flexible, and that's what I love seeing at this level of play is these teams have their heads about them and also like 3 miles up. And you see the moves and the counter moves. So it could, you know, on the one hand, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I wouldn't expect the strats to change, but I would expect the games to play very differently. Like if we see HBG again, I bet we don't see Mantra pushing in the basement like that.
Nope. And then if we see Bearclaw play out the same way, maybe we see JGX play a little more carefully and with trying to prevent picks. And also, maybe if it gets close enough to a cap win, they start leaving people in a position to stall on caps, because balling up on Theta at the end is what cost them the game. If they had one mech that stayed up in the back high to get sights on Epsilon, that would have won the game. So maybe not even whole new strats, maybe just these slight little tweaks that, you know, you could see. And if you have 5 minutes between each game, that is enough to debrief.
Yeah.
So maybe just these small little corrections that will be enough to win the game.
Yeah, and it is the small corrections. Another thing I love about this level of play, it is the micro mistakes. And, and they just add up, but it's just like, oh man, you juked for like half a second more than you needed to, which means you didn't get there in time to get that last shot. It all comes down to these small little things.
Yep, it is everybody's game to lose here.
Yep. All right, let's see here. We are up to just hit 3 minutes left for Mantra to sort out. They are still a pilot down. Looks like they are headed Alpha Bravo here on. Looking at HBG up in the corner here. Let me switch that over to Bog. And I will send you the map room as well, Tios.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
There we go. So we will go, yeah, we'll just scooch on over to the map screen here. So yeah.
Ooh, what do I think? I think both teams are going to do a control strat. I think really.
Yep.
Oh boy.
So Mantra just moved fully Alpha Bravo, which puts, oh nope, here we go. Now we're moving to something more sensible.
Okay,
what are you doing?
For those of you who haven't played Bog, if you have a control strat, Theta is what will win. Theta is where pretty much the entire fight goes, and you can sort of see a lot of how teams play if they go to fight Theta, and you know, if they stay and fight, that means that they have a very confident light strat, a very confident wolf pack, and will probably play more a bit aggressive for kills. I'm betting five JDX, sorry, JGX will send at least
Fidelis,
3 lights.
in fact.
Fidel, oh my god. Everybody needs to stop changing their team names, please. I'm betting they send at least 3 lights. In fact, looking at Alpha Lands, you have Jiffy, Dario, JP, Django, and Naveed. That means that at least 3 lights and pseudo lights are probably going to go to Theta, and I'm willing to bet that they are going to stay and fight for it. What I think is the most pressing concern is whether or not Mantra will send in 3 mechs, whether or not they'll only send in 2, and whether or not they'll actually stay to fight for it, because Fidelis has proven themselves as a team that where the moment they have a 3 cap, they are just willing to sit, and they can hold the map in a very dominating stand-up, mechs up in D5, E5, E6, snipers in the back of E7, and pretty much once you let them settle with a 3 cap, I would say Fidelis is probably the hardest team to take a 3 cap away from right now.
I would agree with that. It is so hard.
Yeah, so if they don't get Theta, then your really only option is to either make a play around for Kappa, which is historically super
we got that
dangerous.
sniper hill right here that has so much cover.
You know, they're gonna have bigs here, bigs here, bigs here, and that's gonna be a huge risk. So really, I really hate to say it, but if you cannot get Theta and you cannot get a 3 cap, your options are to A, dominate on trades, of which I will say Fidelis also one of the best trading teams in the game, so that's going to be rough, or just do a balls to the wall push and just say, you know what, we're not going to win caps, we're not going to win, you know, sitting here just getting our armor chipped away by a stone rhino sitting in the back of the map. So we just have to run it though.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's get in. Both teams are ready. So we will go ahead right on over there. Maybe if I click the button, you know, I do have something to do here.
There we go.
And interestingly enough, seeing a heavy Theta side setup here for Mantra. So it may be, you know, sort of to your point, all about Theta there. Just covering Theta and getting a very strong presence on there to make sure that they get it and can move from it. That we are on the right side here. We are. Excellent. All right, so I am hanging out with Mantra here. We've got the Shadowcat with ER Meads, light machine guns, and heavy large lasers. The ER Peeps and Gauss on a Marauder 2. C? No, Marauder 2. Marauder 2. Jeez. Stone Rhino with the ER large Gauss XEA. With one large pulse laser and a whole bunch of mediums. Interesting. So very much in the mid-range fight. And again, we've got a Flea Viper. What is on the Viper these days? There are so many different builds here.
Let's see. It is a Viper F. So,
machine guns and heavy
Yep, okay.
mediums. Okay.
Meanwhile, on Mantra, Marauder 4L, Ice Ferret J, Stone Rhino 2, Flea 19, Shadowcat, Nishipeshu, Executioner A, Viper F, Firestarter A. But yeah, they are running full tilt. Mantra sending a 4-man wolf pack to Theta.
Yeah, that's the team I just covered, so I'm going to run over to the other side here. We've got the Phoenix Hawk with the lights and heavies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On the
I
3D.
just realized
That's
I
okay.
covered them.
It's okay. I'm looking at Shadowcat P, and I'm like, that's not a Mishipeshu. So we've got beam lasers there again, and 7 light machine guns on that to answer your question on that. So good call. We've got the Osiris 1P, a Rancor, a Stone Rhino, and a Death Strike coming up on this Sniper Hill. Hag 20s on the Death Strike. And a suite of lasers, of course. And
Mantra
really
didn't just run
Regal.
to Theta. They ran past Theta. They were prepared to shove off anybody there. They ran past it, ran straight back.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah.
So I would just like to say I was entirely wrong. I pegged Fidelis as the team to run in and just hardcore own Theta. But if you look at it though, in order to get Theta, they just gave up Epsilon, and I think Fidelis is gearing up to push and own the top side of the map. So even though Mantra got what I called, the pinnacle cap of the map, Fidelis is probably still going to get a 3 cap here, and it's just become a north-south game.
And there's that flexibility that I was talking about. It's also a high ground, low ground game here, looking at how Fidelis is distributing themselves. We've got Navid in this Veagle with... AP, this looks like that Night Gear build almost. Proto ACA, AP Gauss Plasma Cannon, and 2 SRM6s. That is going to be brutal.
The SERMs kind of show the heavy bracket build meta we have right now of just, okay, I want a little extra DPS in case somebody decides to brawl, or, relatively cheap. Clan SERMs are very light. Mantra is sending the 4-man wolf pack down to Epsilon, though, and they managed to neutralize
it. Yeah, it was hardly capped. They're probably going to swap it here in the next few seconds as Neon is going uncontested and Fidelis falls back.
Epsilon cap is so out in the open, though. He's going to take some... Yep, he is backing off.
Neutralized is good. They're only 17 ticks ahead. That's fine.
Yep.
2
cap like this, if you can't get the 3rd cap, your traders have plenty of time. Gwentler's already in the yellow at 79%. How is he doing? Okay, it's a pretty even split around armor, but either way, that is a painful thing to see. Lermgod's just hammering down Gwentler. Everybody on Mantra has dropped.
Yep, and Fidelis moves in to take Epsilon. Wow, they pulled real far back without really too much pressure. I think I ultimately had that on the cam, but it was a bit in the distance there. Yeah, this is an interesting fallback on the part of Mantra. Their move there is now to go to Sigma to keep those kicks from going, and it is largely unprotected.
Dario, for a moment I thought he was going to run and make a play, but nope, he's just screening for the bigs. It's very interesting because it's very interesting because Mantra's lights are very much playmakers. If you look at them, they are not afraid to send out their lights and to run around on these weird parts of the maps. However, after Dario got picked on Bearclaw, you see Fidelis is playing with their lights a lot closer to the chest. They do not want their mechs to go around on their own.
Yeah, and
they are afraid of getting a pick.
And with good reason. Yeah. Django not really seeing any movement here. Looks like he is moving back to the pack again, like you were saying. They are playing their lights and pseudos pretty close as Sigma gets flipped for Mantra.
I think
not quite halfway through. on the ticket cap.
So if I was Fidelis, and I think what's going through my head is the same thing going through their head right now, is that they have just now realized that there's a mech on Sigma that is completely out of the fight. So I believe they're trying to move forward. They're trying to encroach. They see that at the best for Mantra, it's a 7v8 right
Dario's
now.
about to fall into
worse.
a trap here. Red in this Eid Fair is this is why he is in that location, except maybe not.
They're giving up Gamma? Are they waiting for Winter's Rigor? They're gonna choose to let Caps go down and fight instead?
He's so close. There's no reason not to deny that cap.
Red is now fighting JP Django and Brower. Winter's Rigor backed off at the worst of time. That is the
and
most unlucky timing right there.
Pushes into this little canyon here where there is really no room to move. And Fidelis is going to take odd deuce here in the Stone Rhino down to 43% all of a sudden.
Worm God is bringing the Stone Rhino right onto their front door. Mantra is just, they have let themselves get caught in this corner of the map. And even now that it's an 8v8 here, they just have given up all the real estate to Fidelis here.
We've got Auduce and the 100-tonner here down half and open on the other house down to one ER large and one Gauss rifle. Just really, really hampered here. Gwentler down to 53%. Looks to be mostly intact, just an open shoulder there. As we got this light field over here. Yeah, Django and Dario getting pushed off. Brower coming in to support. Django not going to get, there it is. Django not going to get away unscathed.
Spot though, but that hurts.
Ish. We got Neon up here with the fire starter who's gonna keep picking. Well, those beam lasers though.
Maybe, I don't know. It sucks because the red was in a prime spot to kill Django, but can't jump up.
Trem's got him
now jumping up though.
Yep, and we're getting PPCs.
Django's not getting shot from the rear. Yeah, Django needs to.
There we go. Django down. Couldn't get it. Who else? We got Jiffy at 78% is looking a little rough. That's in the desk right. That is all armor though. As
I want to say
will
this
flip
is still a Fidelis win, even though first kill goes to Mantra.
It's going to be close, I think. Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than it thinks. Well, we've got some fighting going on over here in the distance.
Gwentler Mokor? Yeah.
We've got Gwentler, Mokor, Tawars, and Dario. So we've got tonnage advantage going to Tawars. Oh no. Oh, one touch.
He's one touch.
There it is.
My goodness.
That changes Lermgod pushing in.
Also, Fidelis is down two light mechs. Naveed goes down too. This makes Caps critical.
This is swapping in Brower.
What? Oh my god.
While they are turning it, Gwentler goes down. Like, you look at all these beat up Mantra mechs, they are hanging on by the skin of their ablative armor.
71%.
Yeah.
Okay. He's almost halved, and
Rigor and Neon coming in. They're going to close that.
God is getting ran in by 3 mechs right now. How is Mantra's getting Epsi?
Yeah. They saw that they can just swap caps. 3 left. Dario and the Locust is really their only capper able to hold on. And trying to, I guess,
Mantra needs to stop trying to kill Jiffy and needs to start going for caps. That's the problem.
I mean, they're already on it. Like, they just flipped FC. They have a mech going on Kappa here in the next 2 seconds. As soon as they got that mech advantage, they just went for it. Here goes Jiffy just trying to hold. Dario trying to help him out here. That Viper, could leg the Viper. That's what Dario's going for in the 3v with a snub and 2 mag shot. Interesting.
I'm not really sure I like that.
Oh, there we go. Leg the Viper. Yep.
Jiffy goes down.
Let's see how Dario decides to play this.
Mantra's gonna get a 4 cap. I mean, Dario could do everything right, and I don't think they win from here. Also, how's Dario's legs doing?
I think their one is roughed up, if I recall. Come on, give me the click.
If Dario gets legged, it's over. His leg is one touch. If Dario gets legged, it's over.
And that just happened, so he is...
oh my goodness.
He used up his margin of error here and is going for... I don't know what.
JBV in a green flea. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, he's doing fine. If he hunts down Dario, or
it's a 5-0. It's over in like the next 5 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Or maybe it's like 7 or 8 seconds. But yeah, it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting this out of Mantra. Like out of everybody you would predict to win the entire championship series, Fidelis is definitely at the top of the list.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And Mantra has been pulling out some serious wins out of here. 2-1 in their favor. Oh boy.
And that changed so fast, right? The first bit of that match, we were just like, yeah, this feels like Fidelis. Fidelis is gonna hold, and then it changed in the matter of 10 seconds. Mantra really keeping their heads about them here. Looking at damage spreads, mostly pretty even, except for Lermgod with 808 in that Stone Rhino. Oh, it's 705 for Monkyaso. So yeah, they were pumping out that damage, but something happened there where the switch got flipped on Mantra, and they really took it to him. All right,
I'm shocked. Halfway through, I thought this was a Fidelis. Like, I thought this was Fidelis in the bag. I am hands off to Mantra. It is, wow.
Yeah.
I don't have any words.
All right. Well, hey, instead of words, I'm gonna do stuff. Instead of words, we can definitely look at these stats, of which top damage came from Fidelis, though. Like, oh yeah,
Mantra just played the cap game. And yeah, let's see if I still have my stats account so I can look at this deep down, because there is something I want to see.
So we are coming up on Terra Therma, swapping the server to the EU server.
I think of all the maps, Terra is the most brawl friendly.
I don't know. I feel like Bear Claw's got some good brawl pathing on it. It would be between those for me, but I see your point. There are many good brawl spots on Terra. No, I think I would agree. As I think about that one for a minute, yeah, Terra is very much the more brawl friendly. Bear Claw with some sight lines. But yeah, we are moving on to Terra. Let me swap that map over. Take a quick look at that. There we go. Here is Terra here. We've got Mantra up in the north and Fidelis down in the southwest. And you've got this big ridge that makes a difference here for Team 2. They really have to kind of go to one side or the other of it.
Oh boy, how do I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Team 2 has an easier route to Theta, right? Alpha Lance spawn and run up, or maybe I need to do my math again.
Where is it? There is a channel here for Theta. Oh,
this is true. Theta can run up like this. I don't know.
It's close. I think Team 2 has a sight advantage. I think Team 1 has an arrival advantage.
Yeah. I would say Theta's probably the least important, or I would say of all the maps in the CS pool, this is the map where Theta is the least important, because one thing about Terra is that it's so easy to make movements undetected. Thanks to this giant mountain here, giant one here, slightly less giant here.
Yeah.
It is very easy for Team 2 to send a cheeky light to get Sigma from Kappa. However, in the reverse, it's very easy for Team 1 to send somebody from Sigma to Kappa. Gamma is a very safe cap. Very rarely does Team 2 ever lose Gamma. I would say Epsilon is almost as safe. Very rarely does Team 1 ever lose Epsilon, but I would say Terra is a lot of rock, paper,
around these 3 points.
Just because of how the teams decide to move, because Team 1 can go around to Kappa, Team 1 can go decide to fight for Theta.
Team 1 also has this cheeky volcano spot over here in Fox 6 that provides excellent Theta coverage. So honestly, if I were Team 2, I would. It's a tough sell for Team 2, unless you can get that person dislodged. Like, that has to be goal number 1. Make sure no one's here. Then you could take Theta, but like this Kappa Sigma Epsi triangle is really where it's at. And then Team 1.
I have never seen Team 1 go G8 and win. Go to that G8 H7 route. I've never seen it happen. As I saw the meta sort of evolve for this map in Tournament of Stars, ISC. It was one of those two. We sort of saw the meta evolve of Team 2 sending a light from Alpha straight to Theta in the route I put up, and then sort of set up Kappa Theta FC, except they would have a like extreme range mech on top of this mountain over Kappa that is nearly impossible
Oh, yeah,
to,
there's that
properly,
position. Absolutely.
properly dislodge. And pretty much once you have a mech there, you're guaranteed to hold on to Kappa. Or if Fidelis is feeling funky, that mech can deny Gamma and Sigma and Kappa. So really, Fidelis could give up Theta entirely.
I think was the one I most saw there, and it was some sort of long range.
It was like a
micros.
Summoner or a Stone Rhino 2. I've seen sometimes Daka boat, like like an AC2 boat, though that seems to have shifted out of the meta. But I think that may actually be Fidelis's easiest play as a team that historically really likes to hold on to their caps and just sit there. Kappa, Gamma, Sigma. If they can get Sigma, that's a big if, because some teams like to just move their entire group right through this Echo 7 channel straight up into Theta. And if Mantra does that, getting Sigma is a little tough. But I mean, that's why I'm saying that Terra is probably the most fluid map in the game, or as far as the current map pool goes, is that there are just so many options for both teams. I would say no strat survives contact with your opponent, and you really just have to adapt on the spot.
And the thing that I think will be difficult for Fidelis is you can't necessarily just sit on this map either, because you got to be checking those corners and seeing where people are moving. You can't just sit up a position and hold you head, which is not necessarily a problem, but they are so strong when they're able to just lock it down. So it is going to force some movement on them, and we've seen both teams being very mobile, very adaptable. So this should be a very dynamic match. I'm pretty excited for this map here.
Yeah.
As a reminder, for folks on the stream, we are playing all 7 maps here. This seeding tournament is points based round robin. In all stages here, we will be playing all 7. There will be 1 match a week, with the possibility of a 4th match should there be a tie on points.
How much would the stars have to align to get a points tie here?
Listen, you never know.
True.
There were some moments in TOS where we went to 3rd tiebreaker, I think it was. So
I'm pretty sure there was a year. I'm pretty sure there was a year we had a 3-way tie in ISC Div A. So I guess. The time you don't write a rule for how the tie is broken is the time that, a tiebreaker really does come out.
Yeah, right. Oh, absolutely. The universe always taking advantage of that.
Yep. It seems both teams are almost ready. Fidelis just waiting on Brower to lock, and Brower seems to be the one who's been calling locked each time. So here is to hoping that we will get in the match soon.
Yeah, there's our 2 minutes on the timer.
Once again, Fidelis is putting all their lights in Charlie. Are they going Kappa Sigma? That is interesting.
Yeah, that could.
And Mantra's going Alpha Bravo heavy, which means they're putting everybody in Alpha Bravo, which means they're going to the E7 side. Are we going to see a fight on the Sigma Kappa lane?
Yeah, I would expect it. Based on this distribution, I would imagine, like from Charlie, you can still take that. You can still take that avenue to Theta. Oh, there's our lock. So without delay, I'm going to go ahead and get us in game.
I don't know.
We can answer some of these questions.
Yeah. I don't know how their energy or comms are going right now, but I know that if I was on Mantra, I would be feeling on top of the world right now.
Absolutely. And they are pulling out the weirdest of plays, and they are working for them.
Yeah.
It is working so hard. So they are doing it right. All right, let's take a look at what All right, so we've got Old Hasu in the overcharge. We've got the Blackjack 1S for Trems again. Winter's Riggers in the Hellfire, Mokor, and the Mishipeshu, which I think is the large lasers on Mantra has been bringing. We've got a Mad Cat 1, Charger 1A1 Viper. Yeah, so they're looking pretty brawly here. So I think they're just going to push over. Again, we got Django in a Mishipeshu, Tawars in a Viper, Monkyatso in that Rancor, Lermgod in a Manul, Navidna Hellfire Void, Jiffy in a Stone Rhino 1, Dario in a Locust 1V, and Brower in that Phoenix Hawk 7S. They are looking a little more ranged to me. So if Mantra can get in range here, Fidelis could be in some trouble here.
Oh boy.
I haven't seen the builds. We'll take a look at those real quick. Plasma and AC on the Stone Rhino. APER large on that Mishipeshu for on the point of
Ags and
Fidelis.
LPL on the Maul. Interesting. That's a lot more sustained build.
Yeah.
Uh,
So less range than I was expecting. They have adapted them to like a mid-range, maybe receive type deck.
Mantra has sort of been doing the same loadout style every deck of, like, you know, a few hardcore ER large mechs, some mid, some brawl. They really like their bracket drop decks. Meanwhile, I don't think Fidelis has any dedicated brawlers except for maybe the Viper.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Vipers, ER beds, and LMGs. But we are having a Kappa Sigma fight here.
Oh, yeah,
Both
we
teams
are.
thinking the same thing. Both teams are sending 2 lights to Theta, so it is a 6v6 here, but I want to say Fidelis will have the opening advantage here just because they don't have any brawl mechs.
Yep, they've got that range.
Yep, JP Django sitting on top of the map, preparing to be an annoyance in his Shadowcat.
Mm-hmm.
JBV, though, going around in his Viper.
Yeah, here comes shots on JP Django. JP is going to be pested upon as Mokar and
Mantra's just running in.
Red.
They're just running in.
That's
Charger,
what they got to do.
Void, and Overcharge.
Yep. Winter's Rigger looking real roughed up in that Void, though, down to 63%, losing an arm.
I don't know about Fidelis, but I would be saying we need to kill this Charger immediately.
Yep,
it is running straight in. Yeah, it is. He is one touch. If somebody breathes on him, he dies. It looks like Tovar is just trying to get the kill.
I can't get the click on that doll. Winter's
Mokor
Rigger
and
goes
Reddit
down.
have jumped up to kill Django, but I don't know. Winter's Rigger is already down. Jiffy goes down. Okay. Old Hasu is lagged. He's limping. Oh, he's down.
Yeah. Jiffy was just the focus. Here goes Wendler. Yeah, this is just so fast. And on the setup there, honestly, they set up the fire. Fidelis set up the firing line. They were ready. They had the high ground. There's enough open ground that they can punish them on the way in, even though Mokor and Red took Django down up here. It's not really enough.
I feel like Mantra's push was just too scattered. 4 mechs is not enough to break an 8-man firing line.
No, honestly, I would have left him guessing and walked around the other side. Just gone about face, gone and take Theta would be my solution. But that's a hard solution. That's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, there is a whole open map. Epsi and Theta are not even touched. Both teams just decided that, the game will be decided on the Kappa Sigma lane.
Yep. And it was. They were correct. Let's see here. Mokor and Red firing down on Dario here.
I mean, they can delay the inevitable, but I don't know.
Well,
Fidelis can just spread out and cap the world.
Yeah, if they can get some legs on these lights, they might have some maneuvering room. I don't know how fast that Panther is going to be going, but the Mask with the Shadowcat can get him out if they can leg these lights, which it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do. They're going after the Maul, who is Lermgod is tucking into the corner here with an open CT.
Lermgod probably just wants to live.
Why not?
Are points rewarded on kills as well, or is it only drop?
Only drops. Yep. There's no reason to get extra kills or to preserve your life. No, it's just on the win. Mokor going down to 61% in the red. One touch CT here.
Mokor just took a heavy hit from Lermgod. I'm surprised he keeps trading. Maybe they just want to end the game, but I don't know. This was for the last 3 games that have been so well. Actually, no. Game 1 and 2 were very close. Or sorry, game 1 and 3. I would say HBG was very much in Fidelis's favor the whole match. But yeah, this match I would say was even more in Fidelis's favor than HBG. I would say this match was an utter stomp in their favor.
Oh, absolutely. And they were set up for it. They set up a line to receive a brawl, and Mantra brought 4 mechs to that brawl. So
Red running in, getting that kill, and
Yep.
I think he's just going to greet the bells here. I think this is going to be it here in a moment.
Oh, looked like Brower had a little tactical nap there, maybe?
Maybe.
But
There
it's not going to be enough.
Wow.
The lights hopping up, and really making sure that Django couldn't be an issue. That was the play for Mantra here. The rest of it just went so far south. Take a look at these damage stats here.
I don't know. It felt like they wanted to brawl and then just... Wow, that is a damage disparity if I have ever seen one.
802 for Lermgod in that mole. Very nice.
Lermgod has been just putting up numbers every game. Every single match he has been doing... I mean, win or lose, you cannot say Lermgod is not pulling his weight. I've been very impressed with how he's been doing every game. Let's see, anything else here? Old Hasu and Wentler both failing to break 200. That's not what you want to see from your overcharge and
you had Red and
Charger.
that Panther pulling 404 at the top of his team.
Yeah, and of course that was really just Red and Mokor just sat on the map at the end. I would say long after the match was lost, just sat out getting all their damage in. So I would say that they were a bit of an outlier, but when everybody else in your brawl push fails to break 300 damage, that is a painful reality to watch set in. But like I said, this may just be this may just be one of those times where, you know, Mantra has to go, okay, we didn't win this match, but we are not out of the league. It's just we need to go back to the drawing board next time we face Terra. And I guess that's one of the biggest benefits of being in the Invitationals is that in these seeding rounds, this is better practice than a scrim could ever be. You can really throw your strats into the mix and see how things work. And I mean, honestly, it's just seeding, and you don't even know how the seeds are going to play out because CompQ has only had 1 night of play so far. So really, this is the perfect time to try out things. This is the perfect time to see which strats of yours work and don't work.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I would be, if I was Mantra, I'd be trying really hard to not let this get to their heads.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But also what they're doing is working. So there's valuable feedback there too. Well, it's 2 and 2, right?
Yeah.
So but that being said, I'd consider that working for the most part. Maybe some tweaks. Something interesting. Festro Doom coming in. Here's a strat for Terra. Both teams ignore the caps and instead brawl like adult warriors. Well, you'll see this in a couple minutes, or you'll hear this bit in a couple minutes. But that's pretty much what happened. Well, it was a brawl and a receive in any case.
Frozen City. You know, if Terra is the most brawl friendly map, Frozen City is definitely the most range friendly map in this. I'm going to be honest. Hot take, because everybody voted against it. I think Alpine is a better map than Frozen.
That's interesting. I think Frozen leads to more varied strats.
This is true.
But I do like Alpine as an extreme, you know, that is your extreme on the side of trading and long range side. And I think there's very amazing movement that happens on that map that doesn't really happen elsewhere. It really has a unique feel to me. And I will join you in that hot take that Alpine is, if not a better map, at least a different and enjoyable map. I do like Alpine.
I just feel like our current map pool is very brawl friendly. So, you know, sometimes you just need a little extreme range trade that's kind of shoved upon you. But I mean, you can brawl on Frozen. Fidelis is definitely not a team I would try to brawl rush on this map. I think that'd be a guaranteed loss, but it is an option.
Yes. option it is. And some teams have brought it, especially, well, not so much in the 8v8 format, but in smaller formats, this map is very brawlable, and I think it's interesting when it happens.
But let's see. Fidelis is team 1. Oh boy, I actually think team 1 is the stronger side for this map. Fidelis, I mean, I will 100% bet that they will do the absolute cookie cutter strat. And for those of you who don't know what the cookie cutter strat is, you set up 2 ER large mechs in D5, 1 ER large mech in E7, and 1 to 2 ER large mechs in this D6, E6 border. And then you have your lights either get theta. Oopsies, that is the wrong color. You either have your lights get theta or your lights get kappa as their third cap. Kappa can be a little more risky just because it's right on the enemy's doorstep. But I mean, if you want to go cookie cutter, tried and true strats, I would say Frozen City Team 1 is probably the most scienced out in this map. Fidelis, or not Fidelis, Mantra probably has a little bit more up their sleeve, or has a little bit more variety available. They can decide to push down the 7 route if they do want a brawl push. If they want to just trade, they can set up mechs in F5, G7, try to set up their cap hold. I don't know about you, but I feel like Theta is just squarely in Team 1's camp.
Well, they have Overwatch. Like, you put a mech in Bravo, they're at Delta 5 overlooking Theta in the first 10 seconds or something insane like that. It does not take long. So Theta is tough for Team 2. I would expect the brawl, honestly. But if Fidelis sees it quick enough, they just move over to the side, and then you still have to it's a very counterable brawl, but you have to see it coming in time is the trick, and it is not guaranteed that the other team won't see it coming. So I don't know what Mantra is going to do here. I would expect the brawl though, personally. Up the
if you do run a brawl strat here though, around the G line like I drew, your enemy team will always cross to go towards the safe side, Echo 4, Fox 5. And speaking from experience, if you do not have a contingency in place for when they cross, if you do not have a written down plan saying exactly what you will do, you just lose. You just lose. But looking at their distribution, Fidelis has all their mechs in Charlie Bravo except for Django in Alpha, who will probably get Epsilon. So I'm willing to bet that they're going to play it exactly how I predicted. If you look at Mantra, they have all their mechs in Bravo Charlie except for Mokor in Alpha, who will get Sigma and maybe Kappa. So I think you may actually be right. I think Mantra may be gearing up for that 7-line push that you said they might do because of how much of their weight is in Bravo Charlie.
Yeah. And they got to be moving fast. That's the other thing, because you cannot delay. You want to catch a mech or two out before they cross.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Definitely. So I'll be interested to see what their mechs are. And they have locked. So I'm going to go ahead. Get this moving so that we can answer some of these questions, because man, these teams are both showing up. This is an excellent back and forth. It's not even like it has literally been a back and forth. Mantra Fidelis. Excellent matchup.
Score is 2-2? Yes.
Score is 2-2. Yep.
Drop 5. Best of 7. Oh boy.
Not best of 7, just all 7. It is points based.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Which I don't remember what let me see. I think it's 1 for each. Let me double check that. I haven't actually looked at what the point structure is.
I mean, because I'm not playing and I'm just doing comp queue, I am not here for points. I am here for vibes and good drops. And baby,
they are
here.
We got them.
They are here.
It doesn't. 1 point is given for each drop 1. So 1 win equals 1 point. Easy enough.
So you were right on the money. Mantra in a Overcharge, Javelin 11F, Firestarter A, Dervish 8D. A Black Lantern, a Charger, an Ice Ferret, and an Xe. That is a push deck if I've ever seen one.
They're going to be booking it, and that's what they need to do. Like, and you need to get the advantages to being fast from the get-go, like a lot of these mechs are, is you get in among those buildings and hard to see, and it makes that scout a little harder. Not only that, you know, but you have the option, it delays that movement, and you have the option of catching. What is missing here? There.
And then we have Fidelis, Vulcan, Crusader, Madcat Mark II, Shadowcat, Phoenix Hawk, Flea, Longbow Overcharge. I'm assuming that's ER large and smalls, and a Blood Asp Rancor. So it's ER large trade with a bit of close range DPS in their smalls as sort of a brawl
this pathing
stop.
though. No, something's off on this pathing.
Mantra's just
are they
my
going
God.
up the middle? No way.
They are. Oh. This is either going to work beautifully or they're just going to get farmed and die. I think they're going to
are starting to get shot. I agree. I didn't even hear what you were going to say, but I agree. It's working though. It's working though.
Are running in to see if they can work off the bigs though. I don't know, because they're going to get stopped by the Crusader and the Phoenix Hawk.
I mean, they are to some
and the
extent.
lights are so much more ahead.
Yeah, but at the same time, the damage spread here, like Fidelis is not in position to receive this. Oh no, we're going up the hill. We're diverting. That's just going to let them
the
get
lights
more
ran
armor.
up and circled all the way back.
Oh no, this is not the move. You're getting the cover,
is
but
down to 73%.
And
he's open CT.
He's burned his legs a little bit too on that as well. Trem, that's an open head, so not the biggest of deals. Unless it is, but we'll find out later.
But they're on the front door, and Fidelis hasn't had a chance to cross. So for now, it's Mantra, do or die.
Yep, and Audu's looking real roughed up now at this point.
They took a lot of damage on the approach, but I think this is the closest they're gonna get. Oh, I don't know about this. They need to stop circling. They need to stop circling and just run in. They are bleeding so much health.
It's turning into a line, and here it goes. Here comes that flank. And they're going to be pushing into Tawars and Brower, looks like, leaving Navid behind. Lights are going to find Navid in that corner, and oh no, there's no focus here either. There's no
Navid is in a
focus here
Crusader.
for
He'll
Mantra.
probably be able to do some serious damage before he dies. However, Winter's Rigor is just running in to die alone.
Yeah, but don't
Trem
forget,
is now running
Audus
in
is
to die
out there as
alone.
well, ready to drop.
Oh my goodness.
Old Hasu down to 50 or 65%. Mostly internal damage though, interestingly enough. Tremulous trades for Tawars. It is mech advantage here. Brower gonna go down real quick. It is still 5-on-4, and look at the beat up Mantra mechs versus the freshness of Fidelis.
Oh, this hurt me so much to watch.
It was there, and then it wasn't so many times. There goes JPV. There goes DeRed. Remember, Audus is one touch. Old Hasu somehow holding out here.
And now it's just Audus.
Overcharge on overcharge violence there.
I know if you rewind the VOD like 5 minutes ago, I said now is the time to test things, but not like this.
It could have been like good if they'd committed. Honestly, the lights pausing, they got away pretty fresh, and then the redirect. The redirect was the moment.
Definitely hurt them bad.
Well, I think hitting pause needed to happen because they were so split, right? But the lights were not bleeding as much. They were tucked in, ready to go. And then the audible was called to go up the hill in full view of everybody. And it's just, that was oof.
I think we just got a very grim reminder of why the 7 line into the city is the push route.
Yep.
I think this is a cautionary tale towards everybody viewing. If you have that intrusive thought saying, what if we push through the middle? Do not. Don't.
Or if you do, don't second guess it. I mean, you could say from the beginning, do not. I think it could have almost worked because Fidelis was not in position to receive that for a while. So it could have, but they hesitated. They second guessed. They went another route. And by going that other route, they bled so much armor that they didn't have to. It was sometimes you just got to be confident. Looking at Lerm God again, 886, those big numbers, insane, with two kills to boot on that. Here, let me send you over to the deeper scoreboard as we take a look. And once I'll give you a couple minutes because we've got another map ban coming up. That was drop 5.
Lerm God, once again, 886 damage. Monkey also 572. Their assaults ain't good this game. Mantra though, 55 in the Charger, 185 in the Overcharge. Aldeus getting 356 in the XC. Oh boy, I don't even know where to begin with this.
While you chat about it, I'm gonna run the map ban. They're gonna have lobby view on the stream. I'm gonna run Batman while you continue.
All right. But yeah, in a map where you know that your opponents are going to bring such ER large heavy decks, you just can't afford to run out in the open. You need to decide a cover filled route, and going Kappa side or going Epsi side, they both would have been improvements. Twinkie Overlord said it in chat, and was it Twinkie that said it? Let me double check before I attribute this to the wrong man. Yes, it was Twinkie. Twinkie put it, I think, in the best or in the most succinct way we can, that the longer games we see, the better Mantra performs. The more tactical the game is, the higher chance they have of beating Fidelis. But these short brawl heavy games where, you know, the match is decided in 3 minutes, that's really where Fidelis shines. That's really where you see the killing power of their team put on the table. So I think that if Mantra wants to, you know, get as many points as they can out of Fidelis, then they really need to slow down their game plan a bit and try to do a bit more tactical cap-based games. But I mean, you know, it is only 2-3, so maybe I'm being overly doom and gloom. Maybe they'll come out of this with a point lead. Maybe they win the next 2 games, getting a 4-3 score. Given how well they performed in drops 1 and 3, I don't think anybody can write them off yet.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then for the
Let
maps,
me see here. we're hitting Frozen first, so and same team. No, team swap. So same map, swap team, and then we're going back to HPG. Mantra choosing HPG, which again, this might be a testing things strat, pulling HPG again and seeing what they can adapt. Quite frankly, I think it's an interesting choice. I would think they would have chosen one of the maps that they definitely stomped on, like Bear Claw. But hey, so it goes. All right, swapping sides rather than yapping here.
oh boy. Well, I said before, the teams will have a chance to swap things up and decide if they want to change things for when they play a match again. Mantra, please change something.
Yeah.
We cannot have that happen again.
Well, they're on the other side, so different advantages. At the very least. Overlay correct. All right. Everything looks good on those teams. We're going to go ahead and start those timers. We're back on Frozen. I'll pop on over the map real quick, but honestly, the doodles are still there. The doodles are still right. With the exception of the thing that we didn't see coming. That did happen.
Write it because I didn't think it would happen.
Right?
Like,
yeah. And just to, in case you're wondering what I was thinking of, like, we had the light pack up here. They were tucked in. Fidelis was all in this Delta 5 square, right? They couldn't really shoot the lights, but they couldn't really move out because the lights would jump them, right?
Yeah.
You had the bigs kind of stalled out over here at this bridge, which wasn't the worst thing. They weren't losing too much. I think Audeus was down to like 89%, which is not great, but it's not the worst, especially for having traveled the way they did. And instead of like going up or around, they went in Echo 6 here, which gave all the shots able to come in without any danger of the lights. The lights couldn't do anything about it. And in fact, the lights went and joined for this push around. And it was not the move, that diversion. If the bigs had pushed up here lights around this corner, you've got that sandwich effect going on. You can focus the target, getting them down real quick. Just focus legs, boom, boom, boom. Fidelis has long range. You've got that advantage, but not only did they stall, but they diverted and made that path longer than it needed to be.
Yeah,
And that's where it fell apart.
When Mantra had their lights come up on the hill here, I don't think Fidelis was scared of them at all. Like, they had a Phoenix Hawk and a Crusader ready to jump, and then it would still be in the eyesight of the bigs. I don't think Fidelis was afraid at all during that entire game.
No, afraid no.
They were
held, yes. I would say held, like, but they were not afraid. They were ready for it. And had the bigs come up, like, they could have taken either flank, and it would have been a heck of a brawl. But the second guess killed Mantra. I will hold to that. But also the pathing, the initial pathing also didn't do them any favors. But boy, they were there fast. So now that they're on the other side, let's see what Mantra does. It'll be interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try a control deck, but actually, no. Everything I've predicted about them has been wrong. So I'm not going to predict it. Well, actually, no. I predicted the Terra Kappa Sigma fight, right? But yes, I mean, everything else. Apparently, Mantra is just a team that exists beyond my comprehension. Fidelis, I've been mostly right in predicting, but yeah, Mantra, clearly they are just on a level of thinking that I have yet to reach.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. After that first match, I was like, I don't know what this team is doing anymore. Yeah, honestly, I would expect, well, what would you expect Fidelis? I'm thinking Fidelis takes these controls, works around Sigma Kappa, and maybe tries to get Theta. Maybe Epsi as a back cap, depending on where Mantra sets up.
Yeah, no, given how Fidelis played that last game, I think they are just going to do the cookie cutter strat of Mex and G7, Fox 6, F5, and then just try to go Sigma Kappa. Maybe you can get Theta, but I mean, I think when you're on Frozen Team 2, you can't really rely on caps that much if you're running a trade deck. You just have to rely on your ability to trade dominate your enemy. So I think they're going to be playing very aggro with trades. I don't see Fidelis doing a brawl on this map at all.
No.
Mantra clearly has shown that they are ready and willing to do it. However, if Mantra wants to brawl again, and God willing, they find a path of cover, the best way to go about it would be running through D5 into Kappa City and then running through here. But unlike other brawl decks, I do believe that you don't run more from there. If you follow this path and you're willing to properly take space, you immediately have a 4 cap.
Yep.
So I think Mantra playing aggro with a brawl trade hybrid deck and just moving to take caps a lot more aggressively. I think that's the play that most suits their play style, because, you know, as somebody else pointed out already, a slow cap heavy game is where Mantra shines best.
Yep.
And I think if Mantra does that, it's their game to lose. I think they will have the lead. But looks like 5JD is almost ready. Mantra's locked.
Fidelis.
Okay.
Listen, I was there, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Say JGX if you're not JGX, okay? It's not allowed. Please change your tag.
On the kickoff, like the first team I said 5J, and I'm just like, no, that's not at all correct.
I'm going to keep seeing the JGX tags, and I'm going to say one of those two. I apologize to everybody on that team. It is not an attempt at disrespect. I have just seen the same team names for years, so anytime a team decides to change their name, I need at least 6 to 8 months before I can properly update.
It's like when the new year comes around, right? You're writing the old one for at least 3 months.
Exactly. I still write 2022 every now and then.
Oh, and heck, you're way beyond the times.
I mean, it's almost 2025 now.
Right? Oh, don't tell me that. Oh, yeah. But, oh, man.
I know. Sorry to everybody who just had to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Fidelis is almost locked.
They are green, but not there yet.
There we go.
It is. All right.
Also, I think this is the first time I've seen Fidelis play without Krasnopesky.
Yeah, Kraz is out and about today, I believe.
Also, Carbonfire. I believe he's on the team as well. I actually don't know what their full
Yeah, I
team
haven't
is. I'm going
seen-
to check the tournament page right now and see who's not here.
And just as a reminder, what happens after this, the loser of this match is going to go on to face Fjord next week, and the winner faces Fjord the week after. So all three teams will have faced each other, and from there, points will be tabulated to see what the seeding is. And then those teams get to scrim to their heart's content while everyone plays the best mode in the game, Comp Q.
I love Comp.
It's so good. I wish it is a special thing for a reason, and it should be, but man, there are times I wish it was a year-round thing, because it is.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Are you on a CompQ team this time around?
I am. I'm
Just a
dropping
rewards
primarily with DPS, just a rewards team, since I am an official.
Okay.
So, and since I'm an official and am limited to a rewards team, I am happy to mark around if schedules align as well. So I might be dropping with Den of Wolves if they get stuff. No one else has really approached me, but you know, I want to play the game, man. If someone wants me to play and DPS doesn't have the bodies, I will. we can do the roster nonsense. All right, I'm over here looking at Fidelis. We've got a Phoenix Hawk, that Vulcan 5T again, a Mishi Peshu Flea, a Rancor. So there's our ranged Crusader. We've got the Overcharge and the Mad Cat with large lasers and Gauss. So yeah, we've got some trade and probably some screeners going here for Fidelis. So it looks like they're going to go for control.
Mantra, Void, Viper, Stone Rhino 6, XCM, Battlemaster 1G, Phoenix, okay, props to you for that. Flea 19, Wolfhound, okay, and a Shadowcat. So yeah, Mantra is very much going for the trade heavy, cap heavy deck here. Mantra does get Theta, as we talked about before. Theta is very much in Team 1's camp here, so Mantra going for a bit slower, which I think will probably lend them a better chance to win the game.
At the same time, they're pulling some weird strats again. They're sending their bigs all the way around Epsi, where they won't be in the fight for probably the next minute and a half.
Yeah, however, Fidelis hasn't even touched Theta. Kappa.
They're getting wrecked. Oh my god, JBV, what happened to you?
Did he take a gosh?
Headshot,
yeah,
headshot in the shoulder. Yeah.
Oh, a Flea with an open side, though, is a scary thing to play. He's going to have to play his life the whole match. Yep. It looks like we may be gearing up for a 7-line fight, even though the team is primarily composed of traders. What is on this Wolfhound? The red. 6 MPLs. Going back to the old but good.
Ooh, boy.
I miss the days of the Wolfhound being supreme.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time.
The JP Django and Brower sort of kind of poking in. Wow. Mantra has 2 mechs Kappa in the yellow and 1 mech in the red, and every Fidelis mech is in the green.
Yeah. And here we go. Fidelis taking Kappa, gonna take that 3. No, they're gonna stop the bleed on that increase. Well, it's still going to slow the bleed. There's words. They mean things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mantra
and again,
just needs to sit down for a bit.
And they're just Mantra is. What is this? What old Hasu is all the way. I've never seen a mech play for this position. They're trying to deny Epsi. I think they're expecting, but there's a screen in front of Epsi. I don't understand. Like, this is the looks of an Epsi trap.
That's one thing, but he's out of the fight the entire game.
And they do. They have their bigs around Epsi, but they're going to run into Gwentler first before Hasu even gets a shot.
I am very confused here. Dario is running in, getting really close to making a play. Fidelis, I mean, I don't know. Mantra's denying Theta for now, but
Trem and JBV are just getting wrecked here over in this Overwatch spot as well.
They're denying Theta for now, but they're not gonna be able to deny it for forever. They're just bleeding too much health. Old Hasu is walking back up. That's good. Bringing the Battlemaster back into the fight. I don't know.
Tawars and Brow are going to just push JBV and Trem, who are largely on Overwatch. I mean, there's Mokor in the Mishi Peshu, but he's at 68% open CT. All of the forward Mantra mechs are just been taking a beating. There goes JBV.
He goes down.
Yep, right to
Trem is probably dead
side
here.
torso.
He has Brower and Tovarish running him down. Oh, Trem.
Is that how that's pronounced? Is it Tovarish?
I do.
Fair enough.
Ask me.
Fair enough.
I was calling him Tavarovich for a while, and then I realized I was adding a whole nother part of the name that doesn't.
That's a couple extra syllables here. All right, Mokor is joining up with Old Hasu to maybe counter Brower, Tawars, or whatever you said, and Dario. I'll have to get that from them. Yep.
But yeah, I think that Mantra just willingly put too many of their mechs outside of the fight.
Yeah, and all their bigs, quite frankly, all three of them except for Gwentler were out of the fight for the first 4 minutes.
Which meant that everybody else just got farmed.
Yep. Now, that being said, we have seen them turn it around in really weird ways. So, but I think the chances of that are pretty small. Navid over here, JP, and Tawars is back over here as well, are pressuring Auduce, Gwentler, and Winter's Rigger. Winter's Rigger dumping some lasers into the hill there.
I mean, Fidelis is just on their doorstep.
You take out those two mechs, it's an open flank.
Yep. They have a kill lead. There's nobody in Mantra who's moving to actually get another cap. I think this is. You know what? I said it on Bog.
No, I'll back you up on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But my heart says this is a Fidelis win. What will actually happen? Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I mean, just looking at the positioning,
Mantra's too many people alive, too many caps, not enough time.
Yep. And Mantra's ultimately in a hole. Fidelis is giving them a little open on Mantra's left flank here to expand a little bit. So they've just released that pressure, but they had Mantra in 1 or 2 grid squares for the most part, with one outlier mech way in the back there. So they had the surround. They've given it up to just continue preventing them from moving on Theta ultimately and holding us at a 3-2 cap. They've slowed it down, which is what they need to do, but they are still punishing Mantra. It's like Lermgod, Jiffy, and Tawars are taking some hits though.
I think Fidelis has come to the conclusion of, hey, we have a 3 cap, we have a kill lead. We don't need to run in and do anything stupid. If you see how they're playing, they're very much just holding their ground. They're trying to prevent anybody from making a run for Theta. Fidelis doesn't feel the need to make any more plays. They don't feel the need to get any kills. They're more than willing to just sit and let themselves wait out time. They're not going to throw in a mech and die only for Mantra to just immediately run in and start getting caps. Because that is
they did on Bog as well.
They lost Bog. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And ultimately they put the fast movers. I don't know how fast this Wolfhound is moving. It doesn't look like it's got a max engine on it though, as I'm following it around. 6
MPO Wolfhound's going like 130.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really have any fast cap mechs after losing Trem and JBV, the Viper and the Flea. So really they are sitting very comfortably. Looks like Mantra's going to make a move to tighten up Epsi maybe, or just extend this flank a bit. If
Mantra doesn't make a play right now, they are guaranteed to. There's
Old Hasu. Yep.
But I don't know. The place Mantra is sitting right now, they have 100% chance of dying if they stay sitting down. So I think they just have to stand up and try something. I think they just have to stand up and now is the time for an absolute Hail Mary. But as I say that,
they're all under 50% except for the Wolfhound. Like there's not enough hit points to go around here. Mokor goes down. There goes Winter's Rigger. Gwentler should be 1 touch by now.
Fidelis is running down to Red, who's in his Wolfhound, running for Sigma, but I mean that's a cap too late. The game's already over at this point. Fidelis is getting Gamma. It's just a Red. these games have been swinging as far as who wins. It has been, well, every Fidelis win has been very dominating like this 8-0, and every Mantra win has been a very close win. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not sure what was going through. Can we talk about the Battle Master on Epsilon?
Or all 3 of their assaults going around Epsilon? Because even then, that is still a long time. Like, you could have a light, have that captain ready to go. It's like they set up an Epsi. Well, we'll get to the map here in a second. It's almost as if they were thinking to trap someone on Epsi and get that gank, which kind of makes sense. But then they also screened Epsi, which means no one would get there. They didn't leave the trap open. You know what? I think in talking about that, I forgot to update the stats. There we go.
Yeah,
Hang on, let me refresh. Yeah, no, I got the API. I just didn't put it into the website as we were talking, so the scoreboard should have been old. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's correct now.
JBV getting 19 damage in his flea. That hurts. He took a huge opening shot. I want to say he took Goss. I want to say Lermgod probably got a killer shot on him. Lermgod 800 damage again. Can we
That's
please
really
get a piss
consistent.
test on him? Like,
yeah, right.
Like, is he doping? Lermgod, what are you doing to get 800 damage every match? Monkey Yatso also getting 800 damage in the Rancor. I mean, to be honest, both side traders getting decent damage, but I don't think this was a trading issue. I think that Mantra lost because it was a map control issue. They put all of their eggs into the basket of one cap. And I'm not really sure how you play that. But yet again, we are going to HPG again. Yet again, we are going to see how people change up their strats the second time around. Is Mantra going to make the same mistake, or are they going to adjust their strat and move forward?
Yeah.
I don't think Fidelis will change. I think they won that drop, so I think they're probably happy with it. So
yeah, and honestly, Mantra pushing the basement 2 or 3 times there and losing that brawl each time was the problem. So I think they've got some easy things that they can change. I don't think they necessarily need to rewrite their strat. They just need to not get so stubborn about getting the basement. If they had pulled Fidelis into the basement and had, say, gone after their wall max, which I think they still had 1 up there. You could gank that while you cover the things. Just keep them in there, work the outside. There's so many things you can do, but because they kept going into the basement and losing that brawl, it really just bit them in the butt.
I'm sorry, I'm still just trying to think about Frozen.
Yeah, well, here we can go back and look at the Frozen map if you want to debrief that one a bit.
No, I just think that I have never seen a mech go here.
No,
in my life.
Well, I have, but that's because there's it's like quick play and there's light fights going out here, so
that's true.
They scoot out.
But like
this was
a Battle
an
Master
initial
going
position.
there is
Insane.
like what you do when you have a huge cap lead and everybody on the team is dead and somebody has done the math being like, okay, a single cap wins this, just stay and deny Epsilon. But like not at the start of the match.
No.
That's a 7.
And not only that, like
7v8.
To drop some mechs here, right? We had an assault here, an assault here, an assault here, right? And then there I don't know, we had like a medium, a light over here on Delta 5, and then some other screeners. So like if you were setting an Epsi trap, what you do there is you sliver Epsi, right? You keep your mech back here, you tuck this assault back here, which he was for a bit. Hang on, I'll turn that function off, which he was, right? Like this was our initial setup, but you still got the screening mech, and I think they had 2 other mechs, I'm just going to call them mediums here, over here. So you want to leave this path open so they actually go to Epsi rather than having to fight their way up to it. So the Battle Master was completely superfluous in every single way. That's what blew my mind. And not only that, that's a significant amount of armor that's off the field while, your guys up front are just getting farmed with 3 fewer targets to choose from. That was a wild call.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's to be gained by taking control of this part of the map. This entire block here is barren. There's nothing to be gained.
Well, if you've got mechs over here doing some sniping, that's your flank to counter, right? I just grabbed that whole circle. But otherwise, there's no reason to hold it. It's a move.
No, in fact, I feel like from Team 1, taking the 7 line is kind of a trap. I feel like Kappa is... I feel like if you're going to swing anyway, Kappa is the way to go. I don't know. It's weird, but actually, both teams are almost locked. So both teams are
in fact locked. So I'm just going to go ahead and launch. All right, so here we are back on HPG. We didn't take a look at that at all on the, but I mean, we looked at it before. Let's take a look at what we're looking at. I'm going to start looking with Mantra. We've got the Rifleman 3, which was that Gauss mech there. It's the same thing. The Night Gear, the Mishipeshu, Stone Rhino 2. I see no mech adjustments on Mantra's side. And I see a Brower and a Black Knight. Was there a Black Knight in the other HPG drop? I don't think there was.
No, there was not. I was just about to call that out. That's got me super excited.
Yeah. Take a look at that first. I'm going to Fidelis first as soon as we drop.
Longbow 7V. I want to say Jiffy brought that last time, so
yep.
That's, you know, what he wants to. I mean, that's not entirely unheard of, but let's see. Oh, hello. There we go.
Where's this Black Knight?
Capture and hold the resource point.
There you are.
Any hostiles that get in your way.
Large pulse and ER med, so some laser vomit.
Okay, yep. Just normal vomit. For those who don't know, the Black Knight actually has a pretty decent heat quirk, and it has pretty decent armor. So if you can get around those awful mounts, which were mildly improved, I guess, then you can probably make that work. Supernova 1, not enough people bring that mech. I just love it.
It's a good one. Low mounts though. Ooh, on some of those.
Yeah. Mantra's just running the same deck though. So I'm kind of curious to see how they'll change their plays. Still that Rifleman 3C.
Going up in that same position again. This
know
is
how I feel about that mech.
And at this range too, if you're hitting someone on the wall, you're just tapping them, like for probably a couple, because that's got to be what going on 1.8 to 2 kilometers on the other wall. It's a really weird position.
Let's see what else.
I'm taking some shots though.
Yeah.
With a weakened left torso. Right torso.
Kind of interesting because if Audeus can land his Gauss shots well enough, I believe the Stone Rhino beats the Supernova every time. However, if he struggles to land his Gauss, Supernova probably destroys everything. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it seems that both sides are now chronically avoiding basement. They do not want a repeat of what happened the last game. Maybe
well, you say that,
maybe JGX thought it was a little too risky.
Yeah, Fidelis is, well, they're thinking about it. They're testing the waters. They're not committing to it, but they have 4 mechs in the tunnel ready to go. Which is a low ground, honestly. That kind of takes them out of the fight a little bit, except for the Mistlinks and the Shadowcat. And they have to pull out under the cover of Audeus. That Rifleman's still hanging way in the back. Honestly, I'd say move that up, get the damage. But Monk down here to 74 with that open right torso and a weak left, just getting so many strikes thrown at him. That is a tough spot. Ultimately, I think despite Monk being pretty beat up, I think we're at almost a stalemate here. Jiffy down to 83%. As well. So we'll see how this develops. Both teams setting up their lines of skirmish. Monstra in a literal line there for a second or two.
Resource point Theta
With
is ours.
the Victor looking to get up top on this structure.
It's kind of scary because yeah, he has great angles, but he also is a big shoot me beacon for the entire team. Monkey Otso down to 72%. I would say that Mantra probably has the trade lead here. Audeus and Old Hasu seem to be trying to get a bit of a side angle here.
We do have Gwentler and Winters in the low 80%, though, taking specific. Now, granted, Night Gear and Phoenix Hawk, so a little less tonnage with those low percentage. But still, what you want to be careful. 78%, something's open here. CT, yeah, Gwentler is ready to go on CT in that Phoenix Hawk. Just a little hot on the trade. Deus pushing the side here.
Yeah. Opening
up that flank, and Old Hasu finally moving up with the Rifleman without really any targets.
The fact that the Rifleman has walked up has kind of eliminated any range advantage because it's got a 20% range quirk. So it's kind of eliminated any advantage it has. Jiffy down to 60% in the Longbow 7V. Oh my goodness. Mantra has a pretty big trade advantage here, except for JBV.
Ooh, Brower,
the Yenlo Wang is
you?
not a tanky mech. I do not know how he plans on surviving in that.
Ooh, Brower's 1 or 2 taps to the CT. Yeah, Mantra is pulling out the outtrade here.
Look at that CT.
Yeah.
Look at that CT.
It could, it's practically wearing Karita colors on the paper doll there. Yeah, Deus. So I think, yeah, the Rifleman gets rid of its range advantage by moving up, but also it gets targets. It's got no advantage if it has no targets way in the back, and all the fighting's been down in the center here. Gwentler, Mokor, JVV. This is like the corner of hurt people here on the Mantra team. I think Mantra needs to start. There goes Brower. I was going to say Mantra needs to start closing some of these because they are starting to get beat up in a way that is worse, and they're going to get that sort of critical failure where it all just starts to get Old Hasu down to 51%. What's happening to you, buddy? CT, 1 touch. Yeah. The CT focus is starting to pull against Mantra. They've got more weapons on the field, but man, it looks like most of their mechs are probably 1 touch. Old Hasu goes down. JBV goes down. Yeah, this is turnaround in the favor of Fidelis here.
Dario's about to pick a fight with Winter's Rigger and
Mokor.
I think that's Dario's
and he drops.
He really wants Mokor dead.
That's bad. Yeah.
Winter.
Rip.
Wow. Okay.
Look out, straight through the CT. Yep.
The red is moving up. Naveed is on death's door in his adder, picking a fight with Neon. I'm not really sure. Naveed is down to 7 LMGs. Honestly, he's not really a threat. Tover is just coming up to kill Deus in the Stone Rhino. Deus is probably going to be gone here soon. And also, Fidelis has had a 3-cap this whole game. So, I don't know.
It's about to turn, but I don't... this is the time to do it.
It's too close to call.
Yeah.
It's way too close to call. Things are still...
Deus goes down.
Deus is down. The red is struggling. Jiffy goes down.
Mokor trades for Mokor. It's one, they are close. I think the armor advantage goes marginally to Fidelis at this point.
Lermgod is still at 70% in his
we got
Marauder.
3 in the basement. We've got Gwentler, Neon, and Dered hanging out in the basement. So whatever we're seeing up top is 1v4 right here. It is Winter's Rigger versus everyone else. Not that there's a whole lot of action here. Naveed is going. Ooh, Naveed's going for a cap. Neon right behind. Winter's Rigger goes down there. I don't know which fight to cover here. All right, I'm gonna stick with Naveed and Neon here. JP Django going to help out though. So Neon has a chance here.
Mantra sending 2 mechs to get Epsilon though. That's gonna be big. Because
Neon couldn't pull it off. Nope.
I mean, Fidelis just needs to spread out and hold caps at this point. Fidelis has somebody going to Sigma. Yeah, Naveed's going to Sigma. I think
Mantra's
this is a Fidelis win.
I think so, but Mantra's going to hold the 3-cap lead. It's going to be... Oh, that's a long FC cap, though.
Yeah, FC was full cap.
Theta
Everybody
is
says sliver
neutralized,
cap,
though.
but
Sometimes
says sliver cap. But I really think that I really think full caps are just make all the difference here.
Yep. It's a line. And here we go. It's going to flip 3-2 in Fidelis's favor, and they already have a 100-point lead. So this is going to be over relatively soon. There goes Dered down to 52%. I'm still looking at Django. I thought I was looking at Dered. Let's take a look. There we go. Just missing an arm, some internal damage, beat up around the edges, and against a Shadowcat, which I'm pretty sure is the AP Gauss Plasma.
Yep. Ooh, I mean, the red has a heavy alpha, and Tovarish is open CT, so like if the red gets a single good shot, Tovarish goes down.
But Monk comes in here and gets an insane burn as well. Let's move on over here to Gwentler in the Phoenix Hawk, just wrapping up.
He might run into Lermgod here.
Gwentler is so one touch. I think Lermgod got this either way.
Oh, Lerm sees. Yep, that's gonna be it. Lermgod just needs one more good shot to get it in, and now that
Honestly,
Lermgod is where.
Yep.
Oh.
And
maybe
Django gets in on this. Lermgod gets it. Yep. And there it is. All right, so that is going to be 5-2. Mantra with an excellent start. Fidelis kicking it into gear for the last half with 4 straight wins. Take a look at some of these stats before we talk about overall stuffs. All right, yeah, 574 for Monk in that Supernova. Lermgod, you know, who would have expected Lermgod to get yet another 800-point match?
Wow, I mean, wow, it's almost like he's done that every game so far.
Every single one, yeah. Audeus with 762 coming up close with that Stone Rhino. But yeah, there's the tail in damage numbers. Let me make sure we've got the right score here. That looks correct. So there's some more details for the folks on the stream. Well played to both teams. Mantra, pretty much a good showing. Some weird plays there and some ones that didn't quite make sense. So maybe go back to the drawing boards on there, but some excellent skills shown off today by both teams. Where we go from now, next week will be Mantra versus Fjord. Time TBD. Should be whatever Saturday is Eastern, sometime on the weekend. So stay tuned for that. And I think that basically will cover what we want to cover. Tios, thank you for hopping into CoCast. Much appreciated. Excellent commentary as always.
Thank you very much for having me here. I think that you know what? Nope. I'm not gonna predict next week. We're just gonna have to see how it plays. I was about to open my mouth and then I realized how wrong I was on everything else.
Yeah, so. Well, let's put it this way. Fjord had some major upsets in the knockout round. And has shown themselves to be very strong. So honestly, all 3 of these teams earned their way in. And I think there are no foregone conclusions. There may be likelinesses, but I could not say anything for certain with these 3 teams. So I'm looking forward to next week, seeing how it goes. I hope to see everybody there. Tios, maybe you'll co-cast. Hopefully we'll get everything sorted. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you later.
Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the call there if we're going to come out.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine of Charlie 4. That's fine, chill. Come on, that's fine. It's just a 5-star. Ook Leute reden miteinander.
15 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Don't mind. 15 seconds. Guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Jar, CT, yellow.
Okay, good. You're really see if we can get a dagger. To your left, there's a. Sorry, shit. So, jetzt guys, hinter the indie pockets.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on the barrel. Wire are strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over. Overheating is bad. Both legs on the grip. Hit the grip.
That was such a.
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Heute in die Breite, zieht in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base
Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox, Fox.
Laufen unter ECM ab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves, make sure you've got, UAV full shot.
Here they come, they're pushing hard, guys.
Nico. Tez up,
Go.
Bro, got contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall.
I'm on Delta Griffin.
We'll get cross it then, get in their face. They got highlighter, they just push up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys, full pressure. They're down low. Let's go down low in Charlie 3.
Get the f***ing arm, Jack.
Jackson, cool shot.
Go. I got him.
Okay, go, B3, go.
Echo. Get over to the medium, guys. Get Echo Storm Pro.